Welcome to the Design Portal BootCamp lesson on brainCloud settings and security. We begin this lesson on the Application IDs screen. On this screen, we already know that we can view the app ID, set the app's name, and copy or regenerate the app secret. But you can also configure the platforms that your app will integrate with. Those platforms include Amazon AWS, Apple, Facebook, Google, Oculus, PSN, Steam, and Twitter. In the top right corner, click the profile icon. From this pane, you can toggle the theme mode from light to dark. You can also select the current team that you are working on. This is useful if your company has multiple teams. Click the profile button and a new pane will slide in. From this pane, you can set your full name and email. Click Settings. From this pane, you can set the language, country, time zone, preferred theme mode, and page size. Click the arrow to close this pane. Click the Security button. On this pane, you can set a new password for your brainCloud account. You can also set up two-factor authentication to help protect your brainCloud account. This is something that we highly recommend. In fact, let's do that now. Click the Set Up Two-Factor Authentication button. Make sure that you already have an Authenticator app downloaded onto your mobile phone. For this example, I'm going to be using the Authenticator app. Click the Link button. A QR code will be generated. In the Authenticator app, scan the QR code. The Authenticator app will then generate a token. Enter the token in the field above and then click Verify. Two-factor authentication is now set up for your brainCloud account. On the left, click Advanced Settings. From this screen, you can modify key settings that affect the brainCloud app's behaviors. Be careful on this screen. Under the App Settings tab, we'll detail the 5 options here. The first option is to enable your app, which is already set, but perhaps you need to temporarily disable your brainCloud app for maintenance. You could uncheck this box to disable the app. You would then be prompted to send an error message that would be displayed to the end users of your app when they try to connect to brainCloud. It should be noted that this only disables end-user access to your app. Your app would still be accessible on the brainCloud portal. The next 2 options, when enabled, allow you to generate app and user statistic rules dynamically via API calls, instead of exclusively from the brainCloud Design Portal. If you wish to manually create statistics via the Design Portal, then leave this option disabled. The next option is Disable Live Lock. When you publish your app, the app will become live. To prevent accidental changes, the Design Portal adds a lock button as seen here that must be manually disabled before you can make any changes to the app. We highly discourage disabling this option. The last option is Real-Time Tech or RTT. The RTT features of brainCloud have a unique pricing model. Be sure you understand them before enabling this option. I'll leave a link in the description for how RTT pricing works. Click the Compatibility Settings tab. Features have been added and modified throughout brainCloud's development and as we continue to grow the service. Our development team prides itself on not breaking reliant apps by one of these changes. We recommend and encourage developers to keep up to date on our latest libraries. However, we will create a compatibility flag for any breaking change and automatically grandfather in existing apps to keep using the old features. Your development team can then update at their own pace. To understand what each compatibility flag does, I'll leave a link in the description for the compatibility settings page. If this is your first time creating an app on brainCloud, then none of these compatibility settings will be relevant to your current app, but know your existing app will be secure in future changes. The next setting allows you to change the JavaScript level for Cloud Code. The next 2 setting tabs are for Windows Store and Steam Store. The last settings tab is Session Behavior. The Session Timeout option sets how long it takes for your end users to time out of brainCloud. Your app will keep the brainCloud session alive as long as the end user has your app opened. If that customer were to exit your app, the session timeout limit would then apply. For example, by default, they would have 20 minutes to return to your app before they would have to re-authenticate their session. If applicable, you can decrease the session timeout limit. The maximum concurrent sessions per player option controls how many sessions a player can create at the same time. If you are making a game, you'll probably want to limit 1 session per user to prevent cheating. However, if you are making an app, you may not see a reason to impose a 1 session limit. On the left, click the dashboard. This screen is brand new in brainCloud 5 and displays a lot of useful data all in one convenient location. As you scroll through the dashboard, you'll see an overview of your app's usage, app profile, warnings, API sessions, RTT sessions, and an audit log. The last feature that I want to show you today is Favorites. Click the rounded box to the right of the Design tab. This will bring up a pane of all the options under the Design header. If you click the star next to any of these options, they will become a favorite. We're going to select a few of the options to favorite. Click Favorites. Notice the favorited options that we selected a moment ago are displayed here for quick access. An overview of authentication is the next lesson in the Design Portal BootCamp.